They told you compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, that it turns pennies into millions, that it works like magic over time. But here's the brutal truth. Most people will never see it work, not because it doesn't work, but because they were never taught how to work it. Banks, they use it against you. Schools, they never explain it right. And the system? It's rigged to keep you compounding in the slow lane, while the rich multiply at 10x speed. If you think saving a little and waiting 30 years is enough, you've already lost. But here's the twist. You can beat the system if you know what 99% of people miss. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why most people fail at compounding and how you can use 5 simple changes to flip the script. Stay with me. This could change your entire financial future. Most people are playing the money game with broken tools and blindfolds on. They've heard the buzzwords, compound interest, passive income, financial freedom, but no one ever gave them the real playbook. That ends today. Because if you're tired of watching your savings crawl while inflation eats away at your dreams, if you're done following outdated advice that keeps you stuck in the slow lane, then you're exactly where you need to be. This isn't about get rich quick. It's about understanding a system the rich use every single day and why it fails for almost everyone else. If you want your money to finally start working for you, not against you, then get ready. Because we're about to break down the truth behind compounding like you've never heard it before. Point 1. Most people start too late. And that's the system's first trap. Time is the secret ingredient of compounding. But guess what? Most people don't even begin the recipe until half the clock is already gone. They graduate school, start working, and then spend their 20s trying to survive, not invest. No one taught them that compounding isn't just about how much you invest, it's about how long. The earlier you start, the more explosive the growth, even with small amounts. But the system is designed to distract you in your prime compounding years. Student loans, credit cards, lifestyle pressure. These things pull your money away from compounding. And before you know it, you're 35 or 40, and someone tells you, hey, it's time to think about retirement. At that point, compounding becomes a game of catch-up, not acceleration. Let's do the math. If you start investing just $100 a month at age 20 with an 8% annual return, by age 60, you'll have over $300,000. But if you start at 30 with the same amount, you'll end up with less than half. And if you wait until 40, it drops to less than $70,000. That's the exponential curve no one talks about, and the curve is cruel to late starters. Why? Because compounding grows slowly at first, painfully slow. But in the later years, it skyrockets. Those final 10 years are where the magic happens. And if you miss the first 10 years, you don't just lose time, you lose potential. It's like planting a tree and chopping it down before it bears fruit. The system never encourages early investing because early investors are dangerous. They become independent. They don't need endless debt. They don't panic when markets crash, and they're harder to control with fear. So instead, the system glorifies consumption in your 20s. Live your best life. Buy now, pay later. Don't worry, you've got time. That's the lie. Because time is exactly what compounding feeds on, and the system starves you of it. Want to beat the system? Start as early as you can, even if it's small. The first dollar invested at 20 is worth more than the 10th dollar at 40. It's not just about hustle, it's about head starts. And the earlier you begin, the faster you escape the trap. Point 2. People underestimate the growth curve and get discouraged too early. Compounding is deceiving at first. It looks broken. You invest month after month and the numbers barely move. You feel like you're pouring water into a bucket with a leak. This is where most people quit. They say, what's the point? This isn't working. But what they don't realize is they're still in the flat part of the curve. Every compounding journey starts flat. It's the test, the quiet phase. The returns are slow, almost invisible. But under the surface, something powerful is building. The numbers you don't see yet are forming momentum. And once that momentum hits critical mass, it takes off. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. At the top, it's tiny and slow, but every inch it rolls, it collects more snow, more speed, more size. Eventually, it's unstoppable. But only if you keep pushing it through the slow part. That's where most people fail. They give up before the snowball grows. The system knows this. That's why it doesn't teach patience. It teaches dopamine. It teaches fast returns, flashy results, and overnight success. Because if you chase those things, you'll never survive the slow grind of real compounding. Real wealth building isn't sexy in the beginning. You're investing consistently, sacrificing today for tomorrow. Your friends are spending. They look richer. But 10 years from now, you pass them. And in 20 years, they ask how you did it. You see, compounding doesn't reward the clever. It rewards the consistent. The secret is to stay invested through the boring part. Let the curve work for you. Understand that early growth is not supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be invisible. And once you pass that threshold, something wild happens. Your money starts making more money than you do. You hit a point where your investments grow faster than your contributions. That's called escape velocity. And very few people ever reach it. Not because they can't, but because they quit too soon. Point 3. Most people compound in reverse, through debt, not assets. This one hurts the most, because it's not just about missing compounding. It's about using it against yourself. Most people are actively compounding poverty, not wealth. And they don't even know it. How? Through debt. Every credit card swipe, every loan, every delayed payment, that's reverse compounding. Interest is working, but not for you. It's working against you, and it compounds with ruthless precision. You buy a $1,000 TV on a credit card. You don't pay it off in full. Now it's $1,950, then $1,300. By the time you're done paying it off, you've spent double. That's compounding, just in the wrong direction. And the banks? They love this. They offer minimum payments because it maximizes their compounding. They tell you it's manageable, but it's a trap. The longer you take, the more they earn. They understand compounding better than you do, and they're betting on your ignorance. Meanwhile, your money's being siphoned off in interest. Money that could have been invested. Money that could have grown. Instead, it's paying for purchases you don't even value anymore. And the worst part? Debt compounds faster than investments. Why? Because consumer interest rates are often 15% to 25%, while your investments grow at 6% to 10%. You can't outrun it. You're trying to build wealth uphill while your debt is racing downhill. If you want compounding to work for you, you have to stop letting it work against you. Pay off high-interest debt as fast as possible. Only then can you start compounding in the right direction. Because no investment can outperform a 20% credit card debt dragging you down. The truth is, the system wants you in debt. It makes you easier to control. It keeps you locked into jobs you hate, routines you resent, and lifestyles that look good but feel hollow. Escaping that starts with understanding this. Every dollar you owe compounds against your freedom. Point 4. The system teaches saving, not investing. That's the slowest lane of compounding. We've all heard the same advice since childhood. Save your money. Put it in the bank. Keep it safe. Don't take risks. And for generations, that advice might have worked when savings accounts paid 5 to 10% interest. But in today's world, that strategy is dead on arrival. Here's the cold truth. Your bank savings account is not compounding. It's decaying. Why? Because average savings interest is around 0.01% to 1%. Inflation, around 3% to 8%. So every year, your safe money is silently losing value. You think you're preserving wealth, but you're bleeding it. And that's exactly what the system wants. Because as long as you save instead of invest, your money is parked in their hands. They lend it, they invest it, they make money off it, while paying you crumbs. It's like planting seeds and locking them in a vault instead of soil. They'll never grow. Compounding doesn't live in savings. It lives in assets. Stocks, index funds, real estate, businesses. That's where money multiplies. That's where the curve actually kicks in. But investing? That's never taught in school. Why? Because true investing creates independence. It makes you less reliant on the system. It gives you options. And a population with options is harder to control. So they keep us focused on saving pennies, not building assets. We're told to be cautious, not courageous, to avoid risk. even if it costs us opportunity. But here's what the wealthy do differently. They let their money flow, not freeze. They put it to work. They buy appreciating assets. They reinvest returns. They understand that every dollar saved is just a soldier sitting idle, while invested dollars go to war. Want to beat the system? Stop saving only for safety. Start investing for growth. Yes, keep an emergency fund, absolutely. But after that, put your money where it can breathe. Because only then does compounding start working for you, not just against inflation. Point 5. Fear of loss. Paralyzes progress and kills compounding before it begins. Let's get honest. Most people aren't bad at compounding. They're just afraid of it. Not the concept, the risk. The fear of losing money keeps people frozen. They'd rather play it safe than invest and possibly see their balance go down. But here's the paradox. Avoiding all risk guarantees you lose, not instantly, but slowly, quietly, year after year. Inflation erodes your cash. Missed opportunities widen the wealth gap. And before you know it, you're 20 years in and your net worth hasn't moved. Fear makes people hyper-focus on short-term losses and ignore long-term gains. It's why people panic during market dips. It's why they sell at the bottom and buy at the top. It's why they never stay invested long enough for compounding to work. And the financial industry knows this. It plays on fear. Market volatility, economic uncertainty. Protect your savings now. They push products that look safe, but kill your returns. They feed fear because fear keeps you small, keeps you inactive, keeps your money under their control. But here's the truth. Compounding requires risk. Not reckless gambling, but calculated risk, taken consistently. Every wealthy person you admire has taken risks. They've seen red numbers. They've endured downturns, but they stayed the course. Because they knew this, volatility is not the enemy, impatience is. Markets go up and down, always have, always will. But over time, they grow, and those who stay invested through storms are the ones who reach the summit. If you want to beat the system, you have to shift your mindset. Start seeing risk as part of the journey, not a signal to stop. Start building emotional endurance, not just financial strategies. Because if fear runs your money decisions, compounding will never get the chance to reward you. Point 6. They ignore the biggest force in compounding: consistency. People think compounding is about big returns, smart picks, perfect timing. They obsess over which stock to buy, when to enter, what the market is doing. But here's the secret the wealthy understand. None of that matters more than consistency. You can have average returns, but if you're consistent, you'll still build wealth. You can start with small amounts, but if you're consistent, they will snowball. You can even make mistakes, but consistency smooths them out over time. Consistency is the engine, the habit, the rhythm that turns compounding from theory into results. Without it, even the best strategy dies on paper. But consistency is boring. It's not exciting. It doesn't go viral. It doesn't make headlines. So people abandon it fast. They invest once, skip 3 months, start again, then stop. Try a new app, quit halfway, and then wonder why compounding doesn't work. But it wasn't the market that failed them. It was the inconsistency. Think of it like working out. 1 gym session won't change your body. 10 sessions won't either. But go every week for a year, and the transformation is undeniable. That's compounding in action. You have to automate your habits. Make investing part of your routine, not a reaction to market hype. Set it, forget it, let it grow. It's not about how much you can invest once. It's about how long you can keep showing up, month after month, year after year. That's how compounding builds real power, not in bursts, but in flow. Like a steady drip that eventually breaks through stone. Want to beat the system? Out-consistency it. Because while others chase trends, you'll build wealth, quietly, reliably, unstoppably. You've just unlocked the truth most people will never hear. While others keep hoping, guessing, and falling for the same old traps, you now know exactly why compounding fails for the masses. and how to rise above it. The system was never designed for you to win, but now you're not just in the game, you're learning how to beat it. So here's your move. Don't just walk away inspired, walk away equipped. Pick one action from today. Start today. Be consistent. Even if it's just $10 invested, one debt paid off, or one mindset shift, that's how it begins. Because compounding doesn't reward knowledge, it rewards action. And if you're serious about building unstoppable momentum, you need to understand one final piece: how compounding really explodes when big money meets long-term strategy. Most people never see it because they never stack enough capital. So if you're ready to go deeper and learn how to build that capital faster than the system wants you to, streaming right now, don't let the clock run out. Because every day you delay, someone else compounds ahead of you. And every day you stay consistent, the system loses a little more control over your future. Make your next move now.